Citizens are hitting the streets to help clean up Tacoma. The Tacoma Police Department is looking to add qualified applicants to the force, and the Tacoma Fire Department is getting some hands-on training. All of this just ahead on Tacoma Report. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Tacoma Report. I'm Laura Proctor. Tacoma City officials and staff recently attended a ribbon cutting for the Jefferson and Hood Street Surface Water Interceptor Project tunneling machine. This machine is being used as part of this project to improve existing stormwater capacity, reduce urban flooding events downtown, and support future growth. Construction of the 60-inch diameter interceptor and new outfall into the Thea Foss waterway began in the fall of 2021 and will take approximately 1 year to complete. The new outfall is designed to support stormwater drainage of more than 90,000 gallons per minute. For more information on the stormwater project, visit the city site. The Tacoma Planning Commission wants to hear from community members to help set the scope of Phase 2 Home in Tacoma. The public hearing will be on April 20th at 5 p.m. on Zoom, but comments can be submitted now through April 30th by emailing homeintacoma@cityoftacoma.org. In an effort to compete for talented officers to serve the city, the Tacoma Police Department recently launched a new website specifically focused on attracting police officers to Tacoma. The website, called Reflect and Protect, focuses on finding and hiring new and experienced officers who reflect the diversity of Tacoma. The goal is to demystify the hiring process and provide a one-stop shop to learn about all the employment benefits of joining the department. In addition to the new website, the department recently announced a $25,000 bonus for lateral officers who join the department. A lateral officer is an experienced, commissioned law enforcement officer who comes from another agency. Each police department is different, but the Tacoma Police Department recognizes lateral officers as those who have at least 1 year of police patrol experience following probation. To learn more, visit reflectandprotect.org. Litter Free 253 is holding their third annual litter event on Saturday, April 16th from 9 to 11 a.m. This socially distant event will be hosted Tacoma-wide so residents can pick up litter and beautify their neighborhood with family and friends. Individuals, groups, schools, and workplaces are welcome to join, and giveaways will be awarded to the litter picker-uppers. To sign up today or for more information on this year's event, visit the Litter Free 253 Facebook page. On Saturday, April 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the city's Environmental Services Department has partnered with Zero Waste Washington to host a furniture collection event. Donate your broken or worn furniture at the Tacoma Recycle Center, and an expert team of fixers will repair the items for donation to Washington resettlement and service organizations that serve refugees and low-income families. Those who are interested should note that in advance, registration is required to participate. Visit the collection event furniture donation interest form for more information today. Legends come and go, but one that's uniquely Tacoma is about as contentious as a Coug and a Husky debating football. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge suffered a major failure in 1941, collapsing into the Puget Sound waters. That's the start of the legend. Later in the 1980s, the Les Davis artificial reef was built using slabs of roadway debris, and this is the legend. According to many scuba websites, this artificial reef was made from Galloping Gertie's wreckage. Managed by Metro Parks Tacoma, no one on staff has been able to confirm if this is Gertie's final resting place. Tacoma Report's investigative crew talked with local scuba diver Walt Amadon. Amadon is a longtime Northwest diver with more than 50 years of experience in Tacoma waters. He says the reef may not be the legend people say it is.
Legend has it could possibly be Galloping Gertie, but then I've heard other stories too that it could be maybe the West Seattle Bridge, or who knows. It has a lot of the bridge material down there, so we got the road bed laying on top of road bed, and so it makes a natural habitat for octopus down there and for wolf eel. You know, all kinds of fish down there. In fact, if you go down there on a Saturday, you better get there early because you're not going to find a parking spot. That's how popular it is. And we have people that come up from Oregon. And so we tell the Oregon people that it's Galloping Gertie.
Whether it's the wreckage of Galloping Gertie or even the West Seattle Bridge, Walt says Tacoma waters continue to be a destination dive site for scuba divers around the country. The spring and summer edition of EnviroTalk will arrive in customers' mailboxes in April, but residents can get a sneak peek and view it online now. This issue includes a feature on the city's biogas facility, answers questions about proper battery disposal, and highlights a fresh salad dressing recipe to enjoy during the upcoming warmer months. Also featured is a how-to on creating an attractive container garden to enhance an entrance, patio, or deck. Visit the EnviroTalk page to view this edition today. And finally, ongoing training is essential for most jobs, and when it comes to the Tacoma Fire Department, it's a top priority. Tacoma Report's Lane Fickey takes a look at one hands-on aspect of fire training.
The majority of the training for the Tacoma Fire Department takes place here at their training center on the Tide Flats. But when it comes to actual hands-on firefighter practicing, that's done on location at training burns. The Tacoma Fire Department tries to have 2 live training burns each year. Usually a homeowner who wants their building to be demolished will allow the fire department to practice on their structure. Training burns consist of more than just lighting the building on fire and burning it to the ground. Fires are actually lit and then put out multiple times using different scenarios. This allows firefighters to get a first-hand feel on what they'll be experiencing when they arrive at an actual scene.
Live fire training in a controlled environment is really one of the best ways to develop firefighter skills. Firefighters practice hose handling, fire attack, they observe fire behavior. They sometimes will practice what we call rapid intervention crew, of a firefighter having a mayday situation, and we'll send a crew in to rescue a trapped firefighter. So there's a lot of things that they can practice in that live fire training environment. You can only do simulation so much. There's no way to simulate going up and down a staircase with a really heavy hose line in a fire environment until you actually do it. And so there's a great deal of benefits for our firefighters using these training burn situations.
A lot of time and effort goes into having the training burn actually take place, especially behind the scenes. There are many governing issues that must be met before this hands-on learning lesson occurs.
Our training division staff coordinates the regulatory aspects with the different agencies. Firefighters actually spend several hours at the site of a house removing all types of hazardous materials, so the roofing and the plastics. We often add extra sheetrock in our burn rooms, and so there's a lot of preparation work that goes on behind the scenes.
Most training burns last an entire day, probably a lot longer than firefighters will be at an actual fire scene. But the more practice that's put in during these sessions equates to a much safer and efficient time when the actual event happens. For Tacoma Report, I'm Lane Fickey.
If you're interested in donating your home so it can be used for training, contact the Tacoma Fire Department. That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report. A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. We leave you now with a majestic view of Mount Rainier from newly named Firefighters Park in downtown Tacoma. Until next time, I'm Laura Proctor. Thanks for watching.